Stampers, this is Dawn from DawnStampingThoughts.net, and today we're going to make another swap card. I'm calling this one the Spinner Easel card. It's so cute. Oh my gosh, when I was designing this card, I wanted to definitely use this cute little elephant because these swaps are for my Thailand trip with Stampin' Up. And I just thought the elephant would look really cute with that whole theme of Thailand. So then I made a full-size card with this elephant, and the elephant was just like lost. The card was too big, so I condensed it and made a smaller size card. But let me show you how it works. So this is how it looks flat when it's closed. And then you're going to pop the easel part of the card up. Oh my gosh, isn't it cute? And then the elephant, look, he's got his cute little butt there. So it's a spinner as well. Oh my gosh. I'm crazy about this card. It's so cute. And it's very simple to make. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so let me give you all the measurements here. So this piece of basic black is cut at 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. And then you're going to score this at 2 1/8. And then 4 1/4. Okay, so this is going to make your easel part of the card. Okay, then you're going to use the basic gray and 2 panels cut at 2 by 4 1/8. And then the inside part is cut at 4 1/8 by 4 1/8 square. And then a piece of basic black, again, I put dimensionals on this. This is going to be the stopper part of your easel card. And this strip is cut at a 1/2 inch by 4 1/8. All right, so first we're going to go ahead and stamp. So we're going to use the Whisper White, and let me show you the stamp set we're using. This adorable stamp set, a little wild, and we're using the elephant, but you also have a bear and a tiger and these really cute greetings. It's like a baby set, but of course the Wild About You could be for anything. And then of course it also has a matching framelit, which is the little loves. And you can buy them together and save 10%. So we'll be also using this framelit for the elephant. Okay, so we're going to be using the black archival ink, and we're going to stamp the elephant. Now this elephant, you're going to get the stamp, so you're not going to cut these apart. This is the way the stamp is supposed to be. So you have the front and the back of the elephant on one stamp, and then it folds over and makes a tag normally, but we're going to make it into a spinner card. So we're just going to go ahead and stamp the whole set of 2 of the elephants. And what I found that making many of these, I'll show them at the end of the video, but I found that cutting it out first and then coloring it, because sometimes when you're cutting stuff out, it doesn't always go as, you know, the way you like it to go. So instead of coloring it first and then cutting it out, I figured I'd cut it out and then color it. So that's what we're going to do first. So let me grab the big shot. Okay, so we're going to use the Little Loves Framelits, and this is the elephant. Let me put my acrylic here. Okay, so this is so cute. So you're just going to take your framelit and see it's got a little hole here that's going to punch when you run this through the big shot. So it lines up perfect. I'm just going to go ahead and cut that out really quick, and then we'll color it. Okay, so let me show you the hole. So here's the little hole that you can use for a tag, but we're going to remove that. All right, so that's all the die cutting for right now. We'll bring the big shot back in later. All right, so we're going to color this, and I'm going to use the 2 markers. We're going to use the Smoky Slate and then the Blushing Bride. So I'm going to color the elephant twice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay the color down, and then I'm going to go right back over it again for a second time. So it kind of hides all those lines that you get when you're normally coloring with the markers. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so we got our elephant colored. And actually it's going to change even more when it dries. So just keep an eye on that because it will look like, let me show you a finished card again. So here's the finished one. Isn't that beautiful? So it looks totally different when it's dry. All right, so what we're going to do next is we're going to remove this little tag here. So let me grab my paper snips. All right. Been using these scissors to cut all the tags off, I guess, because there's one stuck to it. All right, so I'm just going to curve that around and just snip that tag part off. So it's just going to remove that section of the tag part right there, okay? So for the spinner part of my elephant, I'm going to add the linen thread. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut a piece of that off. And we're going to flip our elephant over. We're going to add some snail to the back side. And I'm going to add the adhesive pretty generously across the whole back because I want that linen thread to stay put. Okay, so then I'm going to take my linen thread and then I'm going to line this up in the center of one of the elephants. So I'm using the center part of his legs. I don't know if you can see that. See that part right there? So I'm using that as a guide for the center part of the elephant. And it doesn't matter what side you're putting the linen thread on because you're going to close it up anyway. So I'm just going to center that right there. Press that down into the adhesive. Then I'm just going to go ahead and fold over my elephant, lining up all the little outlines, the legs and the ears. And then press that down. Just like that. See, then this makes your little spinner part of your card. Isn't that cute? Plus that cute little butt. Oh my gosh, how cute. All right, so then to finish off the elephant, I'm going to add some red glimmer paper. And I'm taking the cookie cutter builder punch, and I'm using the tiny little heart in this punch with the red glimmer paper. There's my little heart. Then I'm going to take some liquid glue, just make a little tiny dot, just right there. Oh, and then I have a little trick for you. So what I did is on my paper piercing tool, this one's from Stampin' Up, and what I did is I took the liquid glue and I added it to the point of the paper piercing tool. And then I just let that air dry, and it's kind of tacky. So I can pick up this heart and then just set that right into the glue right where I want it. Isn't that awesome? So there's a tip for you. Okay, so we're just going to let that set to dry. All right, now we're going to go ahead and add our pieces to the base of the card because we're going to do some more die cutting. So these two pieces of the basic gray are going to go on the front. And these are both cut at 2 by 4 1/8. So we're going to layer those together. Okay, then we're going to layer the inside part. Okay, now we're going to grab our Big Shot again. So let's grab that. Okay, so we're going to cut the front of the card. I'm going to put this straight for me so I can line this up perfectly. So the framelits we're going to use to cut the shape of the Easel part of the spinner card, we're going to use the lots of labels. They look like this. We're going to use the number 4 and 5 size. So we're going to use the smallest of the two. We're going to put this right in the center. Now this is where you want your Big Shot facing you so you can line this up perfectly in the center. And then you also want to use that label right in the center of that score line. So now we're going to cut that out. Don't move it. You're cutting through a couple layers there, so it might be a little tight because you're cutting through the basic black and then also the basic gray. So there's the center, and then this part is the Easel part of the card. Okay, so it sits like that. All right, now we're going to grab some basic black. Okay, so we're going to take our basic black cardstock and we're going to use the 2 sizes of the lots of labels, and we're going to nestle these 2 together and we're going to make a frame. So we're going to cut 2 of them out. We need 2 frames. Right about there looks good. Okay, so here's one of the frames, just like that. Now we're going to do that again. Okay, so there's our second frame. Now we're going to use this piece for a punch, so you want to keep all your little scraps that you get. So there's our little frame. Alright, so I think we're done with the big shot now. Okay, so we're going to bring in the Whisper White piece again, and we're going to do some more stamping. I forgot to stamp the greeting, and it's the Wild About You, so we're going to stamp that on the Whisper White. Okay, then we're going to bring in the front of the card. We're going to stamp the Wild About You all over the front. And then also you have a little guide here to where you can make sure you're stamping, because the impression of the lots of labels kind of went into the cardstock. But the label, the frame, is going to layer over that. So you're not even going to see that. But you can stamp around that impression. Okay, so that's all the stamping. Right, now we're going to take the 1-inch circle punch. We're going to punch out the greeting. Then the 1 1/4 inch circle punch with the basic gray. Then the 1 3/8 circle punch with the basic black. And that's where the label that we punched out comes in handy, so you can just punch that out from that. Okay, now we're going to layer these pieces together. We're going to pop this up on a dimensional. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and build our spinner part of the card. So what I did is I took 2 glue dots, and I'm going to put one up at the top, making sure it's on the back side of the frame. So you're going to put one at the top in the center, and then one at the bottom. And these glue dots are going to secure the linen thread of our little elephant. So we're going to take our elephant with our linen thread that we did already. We're going to put that right in the center of the frame, and then you're going to adhere the linen thread inside of that glue dot, so it's secured down inside of it. Just like that. Okay, so then remove the excess of the linen thread so it doesn't show, as much as possible anyway. Okay, got that on there. Now we're going to take the liquid glue and we're just going to go around the edges of the frame. I found that the liquid glue is a little bit more forgiving, so you can have time to adjust the frame to line them up, because you're lining 2 together. So the liquid glue gives you a little time, forgiveness, to adjust that. Okay, so there's that. Then you're just going to take your second frame. There is a right and a wrong, or a front and a back to the framelit when you cut it out. You can tell the front is more of a finished look. So I'm just going to press that in there and then pick it up and then kind of adjust it to fit together. There we go. And then you want to make sure you're pressing that glue dot part really, really good, so it secures that in place. So there's your spinner part of your card. Okay, so then we're going to take our finished card here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to close it first. I'm going to take this center line, I'm going to make a line in the center. This is going to put my stopper right here in the center of the card. And that's going to get covered up anyway, so you don't have to worry about the pencil line showing. Then take your 1/2 inch piece, your strip, and remove the backings of the dimensionals. You can also use the foam strips, and you're just going to put that right over top of those pencil lines. So then this is going to make your stopper part of your card, like that, okay? All right, now we're going back to the front of the card. Going to grab our liquid glue. Now this part, we're only going to apply the glue to the bottom section of the window. And using that guide where it impressed the image of the framelit, I'm using that as a guide for applying the glue. Then you're just going to take your framelit and set that right over top of that glue. Of course, you want to line it up with the cutout. But the bottom section is the only section that's going to be adhered, so it pops up really cute for the easel part of the card. Oh my gosh, isn't it adorable? So of course the liquid glue takes a couple seconds. You gotta hold it. So then there's your card. So it shuts like this, and then it pops up, and then you have your little spinner here. Oh my gosh. So then the last thing to do is to add your little greeting, which is Wild About You. And I'm just putting mine at the bottom right hand side. How cute. Now I would write my message on the card on the back side, just because you can see handwriting through that window. Alright, so let me show you the ones that I've made so far for my swaps. Okay, so here's the one that I showed you before, and then here's all the other ones that I made. Now I need 26 of these, so I'm halfway there. But I'll definitely get these finished for my trip to Thailand with Stampin' Up. Okay, so that's how you make that spinner easel card. And I'll have all the items listed below for easy shopping. And then also subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any future videos. Okay, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later. Bye.